Right, that was morning tea at Arthur's Pass. Went on about as long as lunchtime. Anyway, here we go over Arthur's Pass. It's just removing the overdrive so as it doesn't drop down into overdrive while we're going over hills. Just reduces the number of gears to 3, which is what you should do when you're going over steep country. I mean, you don't really have to do it. We'll drop down the gears anyway, but it's just a secure thing. These bloody things, you've got to watch them.
Gosh,
Like
they hurtle.
a hawk. Yes. They didn't used to be allowed on this pass, of course, but since they fixed up Candy's Bend and the zigzag and all that sort of stuff and put the
well, he's certainly going to bear the road down.
Yeah. Don't rush the rush. Let's add some ice on here. There's quite a bit of
a shingle
on the road. Here.
Well, it's supposed to be a slow vehicle.
Yeah, but we're not to it yet. It's just coming up here now. Slow vehicle bay, 300 metres. On the road here, they must have, it was hard to see the centre line. Snow on the side of the road.
Yes. Well, they were talking about the passes, including Arthur's, having snow a few days ago. And I thought,
Well, it's no wonder that nor'wester was fairly cool.
Well, it was.
Basin on the right there. I think the water stopped up here to take a photo. It's not hail. It's grit on the road.
Sounds like it.
It's a bit cloudy through here on the other side. Right, we're just going to cross from Canterbury into Westland. There we go. We're now in Westland province. And we've gone over the top of the pass. rather poor condition,
It is,
isn't it?
well, if you're going to have the trucks coming over, the surface is
In
going
fact, it
to...
looks as though this is really quite badly broken up here. Right, we're coming down now, and the river that we'll be able to see from time to time is the Otira River, O-T-I-R-A. Who's this in the front car?
I don't know, I was just going to ask you. E-K-H.
Yes, it's one of us.
It is one of us.
It's, I was talking to him beside the car.
Peter, Ward, Murray. No, it's not Murray, because they've got Aileen with them.
A former doctor. Sue.
Peter.
No.
Bramwell.
Bramwell. It's Bramwell. Bramwell was telling me that's a 1.5, that car.
Yes.
It's the Otira Viaduct. Gosh, it looks old, and it's only been here about, what, 15 years?
Oh, probably that.
Must have been quite a hard winter up in here with the state of the road. It's pretty rough. I had a look for some Kia.
Yes, there weren't
and
any.
I could hear them, but I couldn't see any.
Oh, I didn't hear them,
Yeah.
but I just commented to somebody that there weren't any.
Oh, that's Roy. The next car ahead is Roy. He's a great adventurer in his time, wasn't he?
Oh,
on these
he loved tramping
treks
and
across the
yes.
mountains and so on. Well, he's signalling that you can go past there, but I don't know that can I get past there too? Yes, I can. This is the Otira River. This road used to be a narrow, one-way, winding, unsealed, tricky road. Well, it's still fairly tricky. Looks as though they've put some other sort of surface on it here.
Yes, it does,
Maybe it's got a better grip than the usual. Some great paintings have been done of this river.
Yeah, well, of course, Van der Velden loved it up
Yes.
here. Otira, gorgeous, one of his famous ones.
Gee, this road is in very poor condition.
Oh, shocking.
Probably because they're putting all the money into the Auckland roads.
Maybe we need to tax them with a petrol tax for our West Coast road.
Wallace Point Bridge. Pete's got photos of the old bridge taken
Has
here,
he?
yes.
Yes.
So it might be a bit damp over here. Yorkeys Point. vegetation has changed here too. Beach podocarp. Some beach and some podocarp. Much wetter side of the mountains. 200 inches of rain at Otira, which we haven't come to yet. Yes, the little waterfalls are flowing quite strongly. Obviously going to put the road across there, aren't they?
He's going fishing.
I left the lights on.
Yes, Ward said he was coming out to tell you.
Yes, well...
See, it's got no sound.
Well, it does, but I couldn't hear it. I didn't hear it. See, when I opened the door of the car to get out, it should have indicated with a loud noise, but I couldn't hear anything at all. Nothing.
Well, I didn't hear it.
Coming up to the little township of Otira. Somebody just bought this town, didn't they, recently?
Yes.
It's been bought and sold several times. The town is a hotel and a number of dwellings, shall we call them, and buildings. Every time the new person comes along, they say they're going to stay for the rest of their lives, and they never do.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not really the most wonderful place to live.
Tell me the old story.
It's nice on a fine day, but it's pretty awful when it rains. And it rains very heavily here. Now that's a new bridge there. That's a two-way bridge. It used to be a one-way.
Now, Roger said to somebody in the group in the cafe, oh, you know where to turn off at Moana. And then he turned to me and he said, well, Don knows. So I said, yes.
Roy probably will know. Well, there's somebody else ahead of us anyway. Roger and Mary are ahead of us. They'll know. There's the station, the railway station over there to the right, that won't be in the picture. rain over here in the last few days. Much denser, lusher forest than on the east side. Kelly's Creek. Hasn't got a name on it. Or is that Rough Creek? That's the one that used to be the big trouble to the railway line. It used to be always washing out the bridge, yes. Rocky Creek, not Rough Creek, Rocky Creek. Must be a million rocky creeks around the world, of course. See, this is all new here, this cutting back into here. Just keeping the camera on here because we're coming up to staging points for the coast-to-coast 2-day, well it's sometimes a 1 day, isn't it? 1 and 2 day running, cycling and canoeing events that runs right across the South Island from Kumara, where it starts, Kumara Beach on the west coast, over to Sumner Beach.
No, from now on it's going to be Brighton.
Going to be Brighton Beach from now on.
It's changed.
Brighton Beach from now. Well, it's been Sumner Beach until now.
Yes, it was, but Usher, the guy Usher, who's become the director, has changed it.
Right. Does that fellow Judkins have anything more to do with it? He out of it
he
now?
sold it.
Thank goodness for that. Mind you, when I think about it, old Walter Judkins, who was possibly his grandfather, he was an irascible fellow too.
Was he?
Oh yes. Now here's the bridge that goes across the Otira River. Just on the right here, this is where the athletes in the coast-to-coast event cross over and go up through a pass. Goat Pass, which is very rough indeed. In fact, they probably can't run a lot of the way, they've got to walk, scramble, clamber.